we're getting smoked. Oh god! Oh god! That's bullshit! How did that miss? Dude, that MG42 took out like 5 people in front of me.
Hey guys, I thought I'd throw just the layer stack I have in here, just in case anyone wants to TLDR this and just throw it in themselves and skip the why and how. Hey guys, what's going on? Today I wanted to talk to you guys about how you can really recreate the visual look and style of projects like Band of Brothers and Saving Private Ryan right here in Hell Let Loose using Nvidia filters. And I don't think too many people know about this, so hopefully some of you can glean some light from this and maybe try it out for yourself. So the first thing you're going to need, like I said, is a Nvidia graphics card, and you'll need to have Geforce Experience. I've brought it up with Alt-5. I believe that's the default, but you'll have to check that with your Geforce Experience. And you can come on over here to the Game Filters tab. Now this allows you to put various effects post-processing onto your images, onto your frame renders right in game. And so this is going to allow you to really sell the visual feel that you get with the Band of Brothers series, for instance. So first things first, guys, I put together a bit of reference that we want to look for to kind of nail down the kind of style that we're looking for in our effects. The big thing with the bleach bypass process that they use on the film in these series is it's really going to pull out a lot of contrast. You can see here just how dark the uniforms are, especially areas of ambient occlusion, where there's no direct lighting getting in, particularly under helmets, is a big cornerstone. You're also going to get more blown out hot spots. You can see like the teeth are just completely white out. Similar over here we have real hot spots blowing out and really losing a lot of the depth that they can have. But the big thing is really the ambient occlusion here. You can see how dark it is, particularly anywhere there's no direct lighting. You're really getting harsh clipping and darkening. So that's the kind of look that we want to try to achieve. Alright guys, so once we bring up our Geforce panel, we're going to head down to Game Filters, and you're going to have these slots, 1, 2, and 3. I have several others here, so I'm just going to click 3, but it doesn't matter. These are all just presets, so you can put whatever filters you want. So the first thing we're going to add is we're going to come down to old film. Now by default, you see you get a pretty convincing old footage kind of effect. So we're going to leverage this to our advantage. So the first thing, of course, we don't want all of this dirt and grime like it's actual film. We just kind of want to emulate the style. So we're going to turn film dirt strength all the way to 0. The next one is filter strength. So this, you can see, really controls how much saturation our color is getting. So I found about a 61 feels pretty good. But you guys should of course feel free to experiment and try all these out and see what you like. Vignette amount I put at about 26, felt pretty good. And then contrast I bumped up to 70. If you take it all the way, it's going to completely clip everything, and we really don't want that. We really want the contrast to be closer, but you can see if you put it all the way, everything just crushes out, and so that's not quite what we want. So I had this at about 70%. And for exposure, I cranked that all the way up, and the big thing here is that's going to really punch the sky and wash the sky out, which is a big cornerstone of the bleach bypass. If you notice in most sky shots in Saving Private Ryan, for instance, you're going to have a nice white sky, very little blue, if any. And so we want to maintain that. Gamma I threw at about 61, which you can see just brings everything up a little bit, and then we're going to bring the contrast back in next. So that's going to be our next one, brightness and contrast. So for this, I had it at about 15, and you can see it's starting to get out of hand, but that's going to be pulled back when we push the contrast back again. Shadows I have at about 53, and so that's going to pull this down. Highlights I actually brought down a little just because you can kind of get too much overexposure. But again, you guys can play with this and just see what you like. And contrast I cranked all the way up, and now you can see we have it kind of washing out the farther back it goes, but nice up close shadows and ambient occlusion, really getting a nice clipping effect. And I kind of actually brought the exposure down just a little bit to about -1, but this might be something you want to play with as well. So the next thing is going to be the details filter. So let's open that up. For this, I'm going to put the bloom at about 23%. There we go. HDR toning I actually brought to 0, just to kind of level it out. The clarity I pulled up to 100. You can see this kind of keeps it blurrier with the, but I actually pulled it all the way up to get the crispness back after the bloom effect. And then sharpen I actually put to 0 because I don't quite like the way the sharpen looks typically in games. It looks a little fake. So I took it all the way down. And then the last thing I added, and this is really over the top, it does kind of hide some buttons, so you'll just have to learn where they are. So just be aware of that, is the letterbox. And you know, this is a little overkill, right? So just be aware that you might have to navigate things with it off, or that it's concealing. So this I put at about I think 19 or so. But this is something you'll have to play with yourself. And so there we have it, folks. Real quick, we have a really nice kind of emulation of the bleach bypass process in game, running live. And I just thought a lot of people might get a kick out of that. It really, the game's cinematic as can be as it is, but I think this really takes it to another level. It really enhances the visuals of the game and kind of transforms it. You can see kind of the bloom coming through the leaves. You can see the God rays more clearly, and I think it really looks great. So here's a quick before and after, and you can tell, you can see once it's off, it's kind of hard to unsee. The big things that we're getting out of this is you can really get more kind of separation in things like the grass, the ambient occlusion of all that. Once you turn it off, you see how flat it kind of looks, and the game looks pretty solid. All the environments are made really well and have a real nice naturalism to them. But for instance, look at this. Look how kind of washed out, nothing really going on. And now you see all the nice crisp contrast we see in there, and I really enjoy that. Now, one thing I would recommend, guys, is you see you have multiple tabs here, and what I've given you here is just kind of a good starting point. That generally will work with most maps, but some might be a little too dark, some might be a little too bright. So what I would recommend is copying your settings over to each one of these and then adjusting for different lighting conditions. So maybe you have like a dark, a medium, and then a bright. So you can see I have a slight difference here. where this one, I've just kind of brought the gamma up a little bit, as you can see, and that just helps, you know, bring up so you don't get complete blackout in some of the darker maps. So that's just something you guys might want to play around with. And then another thing that I've added here that just, if you know, kind of makes it more cinematic is just adding motion blur in your settings. Now this is a big no-no in shooters. It will kind of make it harder to track firefights and your targets, but if you really just want to go for that all-out cinematic experience, then I would recommend giving it a try, as long as, you know, your gameplay doesn't suffer too much. It can really really add a lot to the cinematic effect of the game.
The other support truck just blew by me.